I'm sharing on the four spiritual worlds. This is the third part, final part of a series. I've done two already for the sake of teaching about Kabbalah. This is from many different learnings I've done just to share. It's suitable for all levels because you can always do more research on your own. So Atzilut is the first of the four spiritual worlds. It's the Or Ein Sof, which is the light of the never-ending, or the endless, and the Ein Sof, which is the endless united. It's a world of emanation, and the divine Chachma predominates. Chachma is wisdom from the physically represented right side of the brain. And Beriah, which is the world of the formless souls and angels with self-awareness, it's the world of creation. It's divine Bina predominates. That's represented in the flesh by the manifested by the left side of the brain, of the head. Then you have Yetzirah, the third world, which is the creation related to form, and this is the world of formation. Chesed through Yesod. So Chesed is on the right arm here. Then you have Gevura, Tiferet in the middle, Hod, which is left leg, Netzach, right leg, Yesod is the pelvis, and this is you would say where like everything comes from. Then you have Asiya, which is related to the feet, the world of action. The created is relegated to its physical aspects in the lowest physical realm with all its creations. This is divine Malchut, predominates. It's the purpose of creation. And God is emanated as Ruach, air spirit, which produced water, then formed the genesis of fire. Fire and water equalized by air. And Aleph is the equality, the aspirate. The Mem is the mutes. And the Shin is the shushing, the sibilants. These are the three mothers of all the potential letters and the symbolic figures for the three primordial elements which underlie all existence. And good and evil doesn't exist. We would say God, this is an understanding of God, who we can never grasp, what we can never grasp. But this is the best we could do. So we have 7 contrast pairs in nature, but like ex nihilo means everything comes out of nothing. And good and evil is not real. It's before the tree of good and evil, or before the tree of knowledge, which is the tree of opposites, knowledge of opposites, really. Before the tree was Or Ein Sof. Or Ein Sof, which is the energy that exploded to create the universe. So there's 7 primordial elements: ideal creation and real creation, which is the double identity. Ex nihilo is out of no thing, something out of no thing. So it means without a thing. So we have 7 contrast pairs in nature: life and death, peace and strife, wisdom and folly, beauty and ugliness, wealth and poverty, lordship and servitude, and fertility and sterility. Between the 10 toes of the feet is the covenant of circumcision, and between the 10 fingers of the hand is the covenant of the tongue. Free moral agents that are punishable and rewardable is the virtuous man and the wicked man. The virtuous man is rewarded with a favorable attitude of nature, and the wicked man finds nature to be hostile to him. So Tali is the dragon, the curled one, which is the relationship of ego to darkness and the true self to the light of God. That's what we understand through Kabbalah. The nature of soul is the nature of God. The splendor and radiance is the origin, the structure of the universe, and possible through redemption. From above to below, or from below to above, is the top-down versus bottom-up, 2 ways of alternate levels of perception, like ayin, or non-being, and yesh, which is being. We have higher knowledge, das elyon, keter, transcendent and encompassing, or lower knowledge, das tachton. Das is the internalized within the self, within someone, which is the same unifying principle applying to both of them. Idolatry is the root of impurity through ascribing false dualism to the divine, which is evil. Tuma are the forces of what we call it in Jewish mysticism, and klipot, which is the peels or the shells or the husks that get existence from God only externally, not in an internal way, and emerge via tzimtzum, which is the contraction, as part of the purpose, and like birthed as part of the purpose of creation, which is the chain of being. So it's an internalized as the self-focus versus self-nullification. In self-nullification, we are in dveikus, which is a panentheistic, monistic views of klipa being illusionary self-awareness of creation, like the me, the I am. And repentance, which comes out of love, turns light into dark, or sins into virtues. And when all sparks are free, Mashiach, or Messianic era, occurs. And the first kind of klipa is 3/4 of the concentric terms in that are completely impure and elevated directly through the negative prohibitions. The second kind is the 4th, and it is directly surrounding the closest to holiness and can be sublimated. So the 3 out of 4 kinds are totally not acceptable to Jewish people. Bloodshed, immorality, and idolatry. And then you would have immorality includes like adultery. So, and then the fourth kind is the second kind is number 4, and that's actually surrounding the holiness and can be sublimated. It's called a shining klipa, or klipas noga, like brightness, and it's elevated by the Jewish observance with physical objects. So how you work with things that are neutral. And finally, here I'll say, so you have 1 Keser, which is the product of contraction of the Or Ein Sof, the light that never ends. This is into a singularity of infinite energy, limitless light, the primordial energy out of which all would arise. Then you have Chachma, which is the infinitely hot, contracted singularity, forth into space and time. It's like pure dynamic energy with infinite intensity, forever propelled forth faster than the speed of light. And then you have the Chachma's explained over here. So Keter is like the crown, then Chachma, then Bina, and then they all flow. So Bina is like the primordial feminine energy, supernal mother of the universe, taking in Chachma's energy, cooling and nourishing it into the multitudinous forms that we find present throughout the cosmos, beginning of time itself, giving birth into a world inherently excluded from the divine union. Also, Bina can therefore mean suffering because of like the birth, and like is now separate. Something separated could feel suffering. And then we have the 4, which is Chesed, Gevura, and it's Tiferet in the middle. It's like 2 polarities of the middle. And then you have Yesod, Netzach, Hod. Netzach is the right leg, if you can't see where I'm pointing. Hod is the left leg, Yesod is the pelvis. But these are in the flesh. I mean, this originally supernal man, primordial man. This is like actually where our fractalized appearance, formation comes from, is the original attributes. And then finally, Malchut is the feet, or the lower vessel from which everything comes in. So these are the universe building materials needed to fulfill its evolution. And by creating new combos until it's dense enough that by the time it reaches Malchut, the bottom part, the initial pure limitless energy has solidified into a physical universe. Versus the first 3 that we just mentioned exist in a plane of divine energy, primordially, supernally. These are so distinctly different on the levels of being that they're like the abyss beyond space on the tree of life, in a totally other reality while undergoing evolution. And I'm going to stop here. And any more information you're interested in Kabbalah, pretty much there's an element of that in all my videos, because I believe that it's just to work through this as functioning as a receiver, as a Kabbalist. So you can always do your research online, and you can rewatch these videos as much as you need, and then look up any words that you want to learn more about that speak to you.